Athlete that became famous, and maybe it was someone that gave glory to God, maybe like Tim Tebow, some Catholic Tim Tebow. So I played hockey after high school 1 year, and I tried out for all these teams, and I made not quite the team I wanted to. I made the training camp of a very, very good team, but I ended up playing on an okay team up in Spooner, Wisconsin. And in that year, it was kind of like my homeschool year. I got to read whatever I wanted, and luckily I used my time for the most part wisely. Instead of playing video games, like one of my teammates was like ranked in the top 100 of the World of Warcraft. It was like a 50 hours a week job. So I was able to read Dostoevsky, Lives of the Saints. I love St. Francis because of the friars. And I called them up as I got sick. I got shingles on my face, and it hurt really bad. And I felt like a leper, I couldn't play hockey for a while. And I was just kind of like sick and reading and trying to pray. And after that, I just kind of gave up hockey for the chance of like moving on with hockey. And I decided I wanted to become a friar. So I called them up, and they told me, okay, that's great, you want to be a friar, you're pretty young, just keep going to college. Or you need to go to college, and maybe we recommend going to Franciscan. And they said you can still try to play hockey. So I just said I want to do the best thing to get me a friar, so I'm going to go to Franciscan. So I went to Franciscan in Steubenville, Ohio, and I had 2 years there, and I was able to be in community with other Catholics, and it was around the 2,500 students, about 700 of them went to Mass every single day. There was Mass at 6:30, noon, and 5:15 p.m. And there was adoration nights once a month, and so it's a beautiful college, a lot of good things there. I haven't been there in 10 years, so I hope it's still going great. And I visited the friars a few times, and I had great experiences in New York City, praying at abortion clinics. Just not that that's a great thing to be, but to see the witness of these priests in the freezing cold with sandals on, kneeling down in front of an abortion clinic was very inspiring, and praying with them. And at night, they would turn off all the lights in the chapel, and they'd have one giant candle, and this giant candle, and you would pray the rosary. And it was like 40 guys just praying the rosary at night, and it was really awesome. Right in like New Jersey. So I had great experiences with them. But the last visit I had, I was in the back of a van, and I sensed God is calling me maybe to be just a normal priest. And so I pursued that, and I went to St. John Vianney Seminary, and I studied for the Diocese of Green Bay. So for 2 years, I was in seminary, and what was this one? So this song is called The Lonely Road of Discipleship, and this song was written well after this experience, but just the idea how we connect this is, when we follow Christ, it doesn't mean we're always going to have tons of friends. Everything's not always going to be exactly what we want it to be. So there is a sign of Jesus was crucified, and we are called to imitate Christ. One of the most famous books is The Imitation of Christ. So in seminary, my scripture quote that I picked, you pick a quote and pick saints to pray for you. So I think I picked St. Paul and Pier Giorgio Frassati. My quote was Galatians 2:26, I believe. With Christ and crucified, I live now, not my own life, but Christ lives within me. This song is just about following Christ. It isn't always easy. The time has come to follow my life's grip. I let go. Now I begin to truly fight sin. My heart now equipped for the lonely road of discipleship. And and I want to serve any other man but the man who bled and bled out for me. And I can hear you calling me to give everything that I am. I'm a weak man, full of fear and pain. I'm a poor man, just a beggar that's many voices say, why you live this way? Why not take the road that's made straight? But then I see your face, the source of every grace, a man of sorrows who said yes and paved the lonely road of discipleship. I just want to serve you right, and I want to serve any other man, other man who bled and bled out for me. And I can hear you calling me to give everything that I am. I'm a weak man, full of fear and worry. I'm a poor man, just a beggar that's hungry. And on this road I've often fallen, ashamed by all my sin. But you picked me up, I'm standing, and now I'm breathing again. And I will follow, I will trust you. You are the great I am. I just want to serve you, and I can hear you calling. And I just want to serve you right, and I want to serve any other man, other man who bled and bled out for me. And I can hear you calling me to give everything that I am. I'm a big man, full of fear and worry. I'm a poor man, just a beggar that's hungry. That one hurts my fingers a little bit. All right. So, yeah, to not get married is a big sacrifice. And so that's, that was the thing. I had this strong conversion, and I thought, I want to be like St. Francis. There was one point in my life where I got in a little fight with my parents, and I said, you are no longer my dad, Dad. Only God is my dad, because I was studying St. Francis, and that's what he said to his dad. So it was being really dramatic, and I ran away barefoot, and I was running in Oshkosh, and I told God, if you have someone say, hey, do you need a ride? I will go wherever they take me. And I was praying, take me to Chicago, and I will be a poor man in the streets. But it didn't happen. So I ran to the Adoration Chapel, and then I called my parents, and they picked me up, and I said my feet hurt. So I had that kind of lot of zeal, and I wanted to do something really special for God, but I didn't really know what He wanted me to do, and I kind of just thought doing the hardest things is what God wants me to do. So my last year of seminary, I said, what if I'm supposed to get married this whole time? And I'm just tricking myself out of it. And so I did a novena to St. Therese, and I prayed, if I'm called to get married, Therese, you need to send me a rose that's red, real, and have someone come up and give it to me, and then I will know that I'm supposed to get married. This is what, at this time in life, I really want to get married. I think we need better families, and I want to have a spouse my whole life, someone to journey through life with. And so, when I give you that desire, if nothing happens, I'll keep going into seminary, keep going to the next seminary. which is going to be in Milwaukee. So I did the novena, didn't tell anyone. I went to a Carmelite monastery and prayed, and they made me awesome homemade pizza, and I prayed a ton, and I read the book Story of a Family. It's Story of a Soul, like on steroids. You learn tons about St. Teresa's family and how she grew up and little things about her life. So at the end of the 9 days, I was with my vocation director, and nothing happened. I was like, okay, back to the seminary. Go out the application for the major seminary. Right when I got back to seminary, I was in the basement. We were going to have a meal together. My friend came up to me, who's now a priest from Omaha, Nebraska. Happens to be the same town my wife is from. And he opens up his breviary, his prayer book. I hadn't seen him for 9 months. He'd been studying abroad in Europe. And he took out a plant this big. And I said, what is that? And he said, this is a rose. I got it for you. And I said, what color was it when you picked it? Because it was pressed together and it turned pinkish orangish. And he said, it was red when I picked it. And he said, I got it for you at St. Teresa's house in her backyard. When I visited the Sioux and was traveling abroad, I went to her house, and I knew you wrote that song about St. Teresa, so I wanted to give you a souvenir. Right after I picked it, I saw a sign saying, please do not pick any roses from the garden. So he said, it's already picked. I put it in my breviary. Here you go, and he gave another one to another guy who had all these books about St. Teresa. So I had goosebumps, and that was like, I've shared that with atheists. This is why I believe God is real and the Catholic faith is real, because I asked this saint, who is dead, to do this, and she gave me a rose from her backyard. And I realized that that is the spot where she told her father, who was St. Louis Martin, what she wanted to do with her life, what God's plan was for her life, to become a nun. And so St. Therese was telling me, you are supposed to get married. So I'm going to play this song. This is the song I had written before that novena. And I was at the Carmelite Monastery in Denmark, Wisconsin. It was negative 40 degrees. It was the coldest, I think. It was like 2013. It was a really cold winter. And I was out there in the farm fields walking around and singing the song. No one was outside. But St. Therese heard me. Therese, you are my little queen, light of magnanimity, full of trust and love, a father of love. Therese, you taught the little way, sacrifice of love each day, lifted to the heights by the arms of Christ. So shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. Shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. As you offered up repent and the dark night of faith, for all who are lost, you carry the cross. As on the day you died, Jesus welcomed home his bride. Your wish shall be gone, spreading God's love. So shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. Shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. These next lines are her actual words. I feel that my mission is about to begin, to make others love God as I love Him. When I die, I will send down a shower of roses from the heavens. Yes, I will spend my heaven doing good on earth. Shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. Shower on me roses from the garden, shower on me heaven's love. St. Therese of the Sioux, shower on me heaven's love. Shower on me heaven's love. Shower on me heaven's love. to continue on the testimony, to give you a fast version. So I met Kalina the day I was no longer a seminarian. So never before in my life have I seen God at work. St. Therese giving me the rose, and then literally the day I was no longer a seminarian, I was able to meet my future wife. We got engaged 6 months later and married 6 months after that. We met at Catholic Youth Expeditions in Door County, Wisconsin. I had been recruiting girls that I thought would be a good wife to go to it, and Father quite yelled at me. He was ahead of it. Said, "Stop doing that, Jacob." And so the 2 girls that I kind of liked, it didn't work out to BCOE, and Kalina was there for her second summer, and she wanted to become a nun at the time, but she had just received a letter from Calcutta because she wanted to be a missionary of charity. She received a letter in the Church of St. Therese in Lincoln, Nebraska, saying, "We are sorry, but at this time, we think you might be called to marriage. Have you considered that and becoming a lay missionary of charity?" She was crying in the Church of St. Therese because her best friend had just become a missionary of charity. And she had taken a year off of school, and her parents did not want her to do this, so it was very hard on her. But there you go. So I met her the day I was no longer a seminarian, and on our honeymoon, we went to Rome. We said, "Don't give us any gifts, please just give us money for our wedding." We had just enough to get a plane ticket to Rome, and we were able to meet Pope Francis for 30 seconds. And I asked him in Spanish, I was looking at, here I am in front of St. Francis, or Pope Francis, and I say, I'm looking at my phone, because I was reading in Spanish what I'd written down. "Please ask Jesus to bless my wife. She has a thyroid problem. Please bless her so we can conceive and have many children." So we didn't know if we'd be able to have children. We got a blessing from the Holy Father, and a month or 2 later, we were expecting a child. We still take medication for thyroid, but at least we were able to conceive, which is obviously a great blessing. So we have 4 kids, and we've lived in Nicaragua for 6 months, the country, as missionaries, and Blaze had his first birthday. So that's why his name is Blaze, because Pope Francis blessed my wife's throat. So St. Blaise is the patron saint of the throat. And then, for this song I'm going to do number 1. Going to Nicaragua was a big test of faith, and also just like to realize that even in what may seem like a failure, because we were only there 6 months, we had hoping to be there longer, that God was at work. And so we helped out a man who was starting a mission called Guadalupe Gardens. And we lived in a pretty rough, rough living conditions. So I had to go to confession for losing my patience just because it was hard. It's hard to be there. And our kids, Blaze got a throat infection there, pretty bad, and my wife got a really bad throat infection. And I was like, where is St. Blaise right now? He's not praying for us. Maybe this is a test. So coming back from, at the hardest point of Nicaragua, we were kind of struggling to learn Spanish. We were just surviving to get enough food for the day. And we didn't have a vehicle, so we had to rely upon Paul, who was doing a lot of construction and all this stuff. But it was there, I was kneeling down in a room, which is its own story. It was all full of blue paint that was staining our clothes. And I felt like God was saying, you need to go back to the U.S. and just do music and maybe try to do some sort of ministry. Your gifts are more conducive probably for America. And so this song is called Number One, and it's how we want to make God number one in our life. So we were seeking after Him. It was so clear we were supposed to get married. It was so unclear of what we're supposed to do with our lives. Here we have a almost nun and an almost priest married, and what are we supposed to do? We love Jesus. We want to do something for Him. So we've been on this journey of 9 years. So that's a little tidbit. So this song is a specific tuning. And the guitar goes really wide. So that's number 1. I want to earth needs the sun. I want you, I need you, I want you, I need you, God, I want you, I need you, God, I want you, I need you, God. Jesus is my number one. Okay, so I'll do one more song. Are we okay with timing? Please. Okay, I'll do one more song and then we're going to have a brief time of adoration. So just to catch up, actually I'll just share what we've done with our lives in case you're curious and just see how God's worked, and then we can just go into adoration. So I won't do any more songs, we'll do adoration. So, from Nicaragua, we lived in Oshkosh for a while. I did some advertising. And it was there, like I had this call again, I need to do something more for God. And so I was writing a lot of music, and that's when I first started recording music in 2017. And then we ended up moving to a rectory. We lived in Casco, Wisconsin. So we lived in Casco.